Welcome to me reading as much manga as I can in one sitting until my brain is completely fried. I really do the dumbest things for content. Worth it. Alright, I don't think there's anything better off to start with than Sakamoto Days, so spoiler warning ahead for all the volumes I will be reading. Feel free to skip through the video as you see fit. That was a ride right there. That was one of the most action-packed volumes of Sakamoto Days I have ever seen. So much stuff just happened, man. We just lost a couple of major characters, and we had some huge development in this story here. Starting off with Old Man Takamura jumping into the fight, we get a team-up of X, Sakamoto, Nagumo, Haruma, and Gaku all against Mr. Takamura. This fight was absolutely phenomenal, and seeing him talk coherently for the first time, the aura. You think I'm senile, don't you? This world is full of scumbags who don't deserve to live. And then he just fucking chops Haruma right in half instantly. No one even has time to react. Look at that. That is insane. And then immediately after, I can't quite tell if he's dead, but he gets Gaku immediately. Gaku bites a piece of his sword off, and then Takamura just slices right through him. He lost an eye, but he just took out Gaku and then sliced down Sakamoto and Nagumo in the blink of an eye. No one can stand up to this man. Easily the strongest in the verse. And the most horrifying part of all is X. The moment before he dies, he's having a mental breakdown over losing Haruma and Gaku, and he becomes Mr. Takamura. They are so fucked. There's nothing they can do now. I don't understand how they're ever gonna take down X. Muttering just like him, using his exact fighting patterns. And then we cut to a week later where we get to meet Oki, the leader of the Order, so I'm very interested to see just how strong this dude is. And we get 2 new members of the Order to replace Mr. Takamura and Nagumo, and Hyo, who we lost back in Volume 14. But we get this old man, Torres, who is a gambling addict who owes the JAA billions, and a music artist as well named Tanabata, who seems to use reverberating sound through their music to incapacitate people. So badass. I am very hyped for Volume 20, and rest in peace, Old Man Takamura. You were the GOAT. Ooh, alright. After how action-packed this volume of Sakamoto Days was, I'm in the mood to keep even more action coming. So I think that the next volume I'm going to read is Marriage Toxin, Volume 9, one I've been very excited for. Alright, that was another very action-packed volume here. We just finished the arc with Makoto Hime, who is getting married through blackmail to an absolute scumbag of a man. And Gero crashed the wedding at the last second to save her. And it was so amazing watching him fight the Ghost Master. And literally, he bonded with his ghosts and turned them all against him. And then proceeded to beat the shit out of this dude. And it was amazing. And he was even ready to take his own life at the end of the battle. But Gero spared him. And just look at that, knocked him right out. It was amazing. And they were already prepared ahead of time. They had this guy's entire family. They leaked all of their dirty secrets on the news and had his father, because this dude's a very, very wealthy, powerful man. They had his father arrested, and they forced him to turn himself into the police. And he's officially had another girl fall for him. This is the 6th. I'm really enjoying this series, but I am wondering just how many girls they're going to introduce to us, because it's not so much a harem, because he's never with them all at the same time. It's just one arc after the other, and this is number 6 here. And I liked all these girls, but I know that there's only going to be one winner, and I'm really, really hoping that they don't introduce a shit ton more girls, because I don't want to have to read through a whole bunch of new girls getting introduced, and I like all of them, and I'll be happy for one, but then I'm going to be bummed when the other 9 lose. And now I'm also convinced after this home date here that he might be even developing feelings for Kinosaki. Despite the looks, he is the man. But they do have a very good dynamic together. This home date was pretty cute and funny, and I am very, very interested to see if he realizes that the object of love that he's been looking for the entire time is right in front of his face from the beginning. But moving on from that, he signs Gero up for a singles mixer at a party for the famous and rich, who seems to be getting crashed by the gun masters. They are prepared to take all of these rich people for ransom and make as much money as they can out of them. And luckily, since Kinosaki and Gero were there a little bit earlier, Gero found out about it through the gun master himself. He found out that his daughter, along with a few other powerful people, are leading the attack. And not only that, but this man here, Leo, is also a member of the Gun Masters. And he fell in love with Kinosaki at first sight. Even when learning that he was actually a man, he didn't care at all. He immediately fell in love with her, and him, I get so mixed up on it, fell in love with him and wanted him to marry him no matter what, and he is begging now for his team to call off the attack because he doesn't want anything to happen to Kinosaki. And he almost manages to take out their leader here, but at the last second, he just couldn't pull the trigger. He didn't want to kill Miyuki here, which immediately resulted in her taking off her jacket, rushing him, and gunning him down. I hope that he's not dead. I don't think he's out of the fight yet, but he is definitely down for a little while. But Gero just dropped in and started taking down these mofos one after another, and I cannot wait to see what happens in Volume 10. And we also got a very funny bonus chapter here of text messages between him and Kimiya Arashima, the hamster master, who I actually think is my personal favorite, and I hope, I think it's going to be Kinosaki by the end of this, but if it's not him, I do hope it's Arashiyama, because her hamsters are adorable, and she is very funny. But, moving on from this volume, I think that the next one I should tackle will be another action-packed volume. Kagurabachi, Volume 4, is going to be next up on the list. another action-packed volume here. This was crazy. We have now met the leader of the Hishaku who killed Chihiro's father all those years ago. And they had an intense battle. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous artwork all throughout the volume. I love these little, like, cover art pages we get at the beginning of the volumes. Chihiro was not pulling his punches by any means. Immediately cuts the dude's arm off and everything. But even then, he knew that the mission at hand was more important than taking care of this guy, and he was still willing to leave to go protect Haruki. Absolutely gut-wrenching volume, though. Gotta say, though, looking at Hakuri's backstory was absolutely gut-wrenching. The way that him and his brothers, too, were conditioned by their father. Just abused and just both physically and mentally tormented all his life. Constantly being looked down upon by his entire family as a failure. It was gut-wrenching, and the way his brother sacrifices his own life to protect a door that was already broken just so that his father could have the upper hand against Chihiro. He didn't even know that he died for nothing. It was so sad. And his big brother as well. The fact that he was so determined that he even took out his own big brother, who was borderline obsessed with him too. It's absolutely crazy how after all these years he finally looked inside himself and found his power. Although it was weaker than most, he managed to use Isao for the first time ever. And he even gained access to the warehouse in the different plane. And he is absolutely coming in clutch, the true MVP of this volume for sure. Sent Chihiro into the storehouse, absolutely wiped him out, and asks for him to slay his own father. Chihiro's right in there. He had just finished using Cloud Gauger and has shattered into dust. And at the last second there, he managed to get his hands back on the end panel. And I am so excited for Volume 5 because I have a feeling that it is going to be the climax to this arc, and I cannot wait to see the final battle between Chihiro and the father. Kyoga, that's his name. Yeah, the artwork in this was absolutely flawless. I have zero complaints. The story is getting very interesting. We're learning a lot more about how sorcery works within this verse, and I love the depth that we just got on Hakuri, and I cannot wait for the next volume, and I am very excited to see more from him in the future. He's becoming one of my favorite characters in this series by far after this volume. But now that we've gotten through the three main action-packed volumes of what I have grabbed for this video, I think I'm gonna start with something. We're gonna gauge down a little bit. Still action, but a lot of comedy as well. We're gonna go for Spy Family Volume 14. Now that Season 3 is airing, I've been in the mood to read some Spy Family, and I've been holding off for a while to get into this volume, so I'm very excited to dive into it. this was the best volume I've read so far. I've never thought that Spy Family would be a series that could make me cry and actually get to the level of emotional it just reached. But in the second half of this volume, like, sorry, I'm just gonna have to, I'll get back to the first half later, but the second half of this volume with Headmaster Henderson and Martha and the tales of war is devastating. Watching them grow up together and fall in love with each other, only realizing it too late once they've been separated. When Martha goes off to war and Henderson stays behind to teach students. Her confession being interrupted by yet another attack, being a false alarm that unfortunately cut their event short, the graduation dance. Watching her cry in her room like that and then being shipped off to the military. Fuck, man. This stuff hurt. And the look on his face, the way he starts crying when he realizes how he feels about her, and that he wishes he could see her and be there to protect her, and finally starts writing in his letters, my beloved Martha, instead of my student. Only to hear that her division has supposedly been wiped out after not hearing from her for over a month, watching him lose his mind, going crazy, getting thrown in jail and then forcibly married off to someone else, only to see that she's actually still alive. Oh, this shit hurt. And seeing Donovan Desmond as well, as a kid, with those same empty eyes, just as an adult. I'm really interested in him, and I want to see more of his backstory. I want to learn more about who he is as a person. It's all very interesting. But of course, this series did not disappoint with the comedy in the first half, as per usual. These facial expressions. Oh, this shit gets me every time. All these different facial expressions. When Anya gets a Tonitrus bolt immediately after getting Estella. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. And the failed dancing between the two of them. The murder mystery at the lodge that got solved immediately. Most kids would be horrified, but Anya was just living for it. Straight out of a movie. She was so excited. It was hilarious. And the little dance scene was adorable and hilarious. And I loved all the different character designs for the dresses and the suits in this. All in all, a very, very good volume. This is easily my favorite thing that I have read so far. But next up on the list, I think I'm going to go for something a little more lighthearted and hopefully funny. I'm going to be reading volume 1 of Sacrifice My Manly Soul, which seems to be a boy infiltrating an all-girls school and joining the student council, only to find out that every other council member is also an undercover guy. It sounds so stupid and hilarious. It sounds like something straight out of prison school or something like that, so I'm very excited to give this one a read. So, shocking absolutely nobody, I'm sure. This was one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my life. It reminds me exactly of Akira Hiramoto, who wrote Prison School and is currently writing a new series called Futari Switch. Check those out if you haven't. But this is just so ridiculous. 4 boys infiltrating an all-girls school because the headmaster is obsessed with dumb rom-com scenarios. Look at this shit. He's a purebred femboy. One of the most ridiculous things ever. And then our main character almost immediately got found out by one of the girls. And the dumbest part, she's into it. And in exchange for not telling anybody about his secret, Toto exchanged information with her, is how I will put it. Read it for yourself if you want to know what that means. And now she's interested in watching him fall in love because she's also obsessed with dumb rom-com scenarios, as she just happens to be the headmaster's granddaughter. This is one of the dumbest things. I do love the relationships between the guys, though. Whenever they're in the student council room, they can be themselves and be all relaxed. They got time for the boys. And they go on little nights out together too, which is hilarious. Got an all-nighter at a manga cafe. This was very, very ridiculous and hilarious, and this is definitely a series I'm going to want to keep up with. I believe that it's complete too. I think there's only like 4 or 5 volumes to it. So this is one that I'm definitely going to want to complete upon release. But as for the next volume here, I'm going to be doing a new Yuri series that just came out called Monster Colored Island. So let's see how that one is. Alright, where to begin with this volume here? One thing I'll say right off the bat, though, is the artwork is absolutely gorgeous right here, and it looks like the author of this volume is very, very fond of these double-page spreads, which I have absolutely zero issue with because they all look beautiful. I find myself so captivated with every single spread that they do. Look at that, them sinking into the ocean. So, this is a story of basically our main character here finding herself. She's never fallen in love. She's never even had any friends. She's been living on this island her entire life with a very small population, and her entire class just ignores her existence. And she's never really had the opportunity to connect with anyone on any level until someone shows up on the island one day. A girl who she's never seen before. And she falls right into the ocean as soon as she meets her, and Colin just dives straight in to save her. And from there, they keep running into each other and feeling more drawn to each other because they've both been alone their whole lives. And Furuka here, she expresses that she is strange and that everybody should stay away from her because ever since she was little, or starting in 4th grade, she realized that she had no interest in boys when all the other girls in class were talking about it, and she realized that she was into girls, and she thought that she was creepy and she deserved to be alone and nobody should ever be near her. But then our main character realizes that she might feel the same way as Furuka does, and they have a very emotional bonding moment through that. And it seems that Furuka now wants to stay on this island to further connect with Kon. And there seems to be some legend about this island, about an ancient kaiju that has, for years, taken tourists and residents of the island during typhoons and engulfs them. But Kon believes that the kaiju has saved them multiple times and believes that it's there to protect them, as they've almost drowned several times and wind up washing up on the shore right next to the shrine of the ancient kaiju. It's very, very mysterious, very intriguing. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm very, very excited to see where this series goes. Unfortunately, it looks like it will take a very long time between releases, as this volume took 2.5 years just to get published in English. But I am more than okay with waiting as long as we do end up getting that volume 2, because this is a series I'm absolutely going to want to keep up with. It was very, very good. I would have to give this like an 8.5 out of 10 for an introduction to a series. It kept me very, very hooked. Next up on the list, though, is our last volume 1 here, at least out of the initial batch that I grabbed. We have volume 1 of Phantom Busters. This, I have absolutely no idea what it's about. I've seen that it has been highly recommended from some mutuals online. I have never even done so much as read the synopsis. I just immediately saw it in stores when I was shopping and picked it up. So I will give that a read right now. Straight-A student Eugene Korikishi doesn't believe in ghosts, but his classmate Mogari Shishikuno is an exorcist who swallows them whole. Mogari can't see ghosts on his own, but once he and Eugene meet someone with the sight, there's only one path left: form an exorcist club at school and embark on a high school life that's anything but normal. That sounds actually very chaotic and fun, so I say that we dive into this right now. Alright, we started this at 7:45 and it is now 1:54 in the morning. And we have just finished volume 1 of Phantom Busters. This one was very, very funny and kind of bittersweet at the end with the ghost of this woman from 800 years ago who had a connection to Mogari's family. Now, they seem to be into some dark, shady business, as they're already looking to off this guy. But for the most part, this volume was so ridiculous and funny. We have Eugene, who just got wrapped up into this out of nowhere despite not having any psychic powers, and then we have Mogari, who can eat spirits but he can't see them at all. And then we have Kanzaki, who can see the spirits, and when he touches them, they can then see the spirits through his powers as well. He can share them. And then we have Kotaro, who can hear ghosts and loves talking to them, but for some reason he can't bother with looking real people in the eyes. It just horrifies him, and all of them together make a hilarious group that they've now named the Phantom Busters, as their goal is to now help all the ghosts in this town pass on. I love how much, none of these characters are what they seem. This guy, so ridiculous with the eating ghosts, and he he's just a really like upbeat, in your face kind of guy. He kind of reminds me of Okuyasu from JoJo's, honestly. Like, he has an amazing power, but he's really dumb, and he doesn't really know how to utilize it to his full potential, I think. And honestly, Kanzaki here, he seems like such an intimidating guy, like a thug, but really he is such a sweetheart he just wants to live his life in peace. He doesn't want anything to do with ghosts. He just wants to chill and read his manga. He seems to be obsessed with Slam Dunk, which I find hilarious. I still need to read Slam Dunk, but funny enough, well, not Slam Dunk, our next read is volume 15 of Real. I just got volume 16, and I haven't read it yet, but I do want to give myself a refresher, so we're going to be reading volume 15 before we get into 16. So, let's begin. Finished my volume 15 reread. What a volume. I have missed this series so much, and there was some monumental changes that have happened within this one volume. Starting off with Shiratori leaving. So sad that Shiratori left, but for the greater good. He's off to get his treatment, and he told them all that he will see them again at the Tokyo Dome for the Iten-san, which will be a wrestling event. Though, unfortunately, he never showed, and that will lead us to believe that, unfortunately, his treatment has not quite finished yet. But something that I was not expecting that happened very shortly after was not even just simply having Shiratori leave. I already thought that was big enough. But then we see Hisanobu and Broom, good old Broom, shooting hoops together in the gym. He was having fun. And he said that he wanted to master dribbling before springing this on him. And Hisanobu immediately realized that he will be leaving as well. Hanasaki, the very next day, leaves. And the look on Takahashi's face just absolutely destroys me. He's so sad, but at the same time he knows, like, he's so happy for him as well, because Hanasaki was the very first person who treated him like a genuine friend after his accident. And it's sad to see the Three Musketeers breaking up. And one of the things that I think I expected the least out of all of this was even Hisanobu left the treatment center as well. All three of them are going off on their own separate journeys, finding out how to live their new lives with their disabilities. But Hanasaki and Shiratori moving on with their lives inspired Hisanobu to continue going after his goals as well. He decided he wasn't going to quit basketball. He kept playing for the dreams. They're going to become a top 4 team in all of Japan for wheelchair basketball. And it is very, very inspirational. Not only watching Hisanobu, but his parents as well. His mother had their entire house redesigned just for Hisanobu, so he could get around easily. They put ramps at the entrance for the toilet in his bedroom, everywhere to make everything easily accessible for him. And his father drove him all the way out to get his very own specialty b-ball wheelchair to play basketball with, even though there was no way that he could realistically afford it. And what we see towards the end of the volume here, something that has me concerned, is what happens towards the end here. Yes, where he's making some pottery. Not a problem. Next month, I can do this. I can handle it. I can pay for that chair. Which means he never actually had the funds to do it, but he just wanted to be there for his son after getting out of the treatment center and give him something to look forward to. And he was getting ready to do even more work so he can pay off that chair, and we see him collapse in the hallway. We see he falls, he tries to get back up again, his legs just give out from under him, and he's lying on the floor confused, having no idea why. And that made me pretty emotional, because that's exactly what started happening with me as of late, with my current medical conditions, and what is looking like it could possibly be a long-term disability for me as well. So I find myself deeply resonating with this story, even more so now, as of course not to the same degree. I'm lucky enough not to be paralyzed from the waist down like Hisanobu, but it felt like my life was flipped upside down too for a while, and I can find myself very deeply relating to these characters and this story, and it's inspiring in a way. Just like all these characters are trying to push forward with their lives, I find myself trying to do the same. Like, even though I never thought that I would do it, I just got accepted into college, actually, which I will be starting in January, which is crazy to me, and it's something to look forward to. Alright. Footage got cut halfway between, so we're going to continue. But where I was leaving off is we also got to see how Nomiya is getting his fresh start that he wanted at the beginning of last volume, just like Hisanobu. But we see that he is getting ready to try again. He failed his first attempt at pro ball, but he was still satisfied with himself. He made the top 10 out of all the trainees there. He certainly raised hellfire while he was there, and he's ready to give it another shot, and he wanted to tell his mom first that he is going to go try for the pros yet again. So he's going to try. He failed once, but he's going to try one more time, or rather, as many times as it takes. And his mom was seemingly a little skeptical about it, just at the very beginning, but then when Nomiya smiles at her ever so slightly, says basketball has been a struggle, but I'm fine with it. And it immediately reminds her of a day that they spent together on the beach back when he was 5 years old, and he had the biggest grin on her face. And she said that she just couldn't stop crying that day because of how happy he looked. She told him to do what he loves, and that he was born to enjoy himself, and that his smile was the reward of a lifetime for her. It was very moving, very emotional, and it pushed him to work even harder. He started training with one of the other people who tried out for the Tokyo Lightnings last time, and his old friend Ota as well. They formed Team Nobia, who are ready to get this guy back into shape so he can crush it at the next tryouts. And he also started getting pointers from somebody else who was at the tryouts that time, who lent him money to actually get into tryouts the first time, since he fell asleep on the sidewalk and got robbed last time. But they are all banding together to help Nomiya pursue his dreams, and he's playing 5v5 with some other guys that one of his new friends know. And they said that having an enthusiastic and intense guy like him is good training for everyone else as well, so they're more than happy to have him. And it was all very, very inspiring. It shows that no matter how many times you fall down, all you have to do is get up again and try once more. And as much as I would love to continue reading through the night, it is currently 3:46 in the morning, but we have just gotten through these 9 volumes, and I have recently come to learn that my phone has maxed out on storage. So it's not the exhaustion that beat me this time around, but rather the amount of storage on my phone. So if we did want to continue this, it would have to be a part 2 on another night once I have cleaned my phone of all of this footage. However, I would like to thank everybody for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I would like you to tell me, out of all of these series here, which one is your favorite, and also let me know what kind of content you would like to see from me in the future, whether it be on this channel, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on TikTok. Let me know what sort of stuff you want to see from me, and also if you ever want me to do a review on a manga of your choosing, feel free to send any volumes you want through the Amazon wishlist. I promise any volume sent to me will be getting an immediate read and review video, which I am always happy to do. And aside from that, have a good night.